Hello. I don't know how long the start of these you're supposed to wait before you start doing things. We're at about 7 minutes, so I figure that's probably a good chunk of time to wait. Especially since I'm a beginner, so there's not much I'm waiting on. It's kind of an intro stream, I suppose. I say that it's probably not gonna, no one's gonna go back and watch it. But, it's, you get it. You know what I mean. Hello. We're the Starlight Theater Collective. We collectively go by Icarus or Starlight. We just go by Hydra. We're still down with that. We really don't mind. As long as we kind of can figure out that you're talking to us. We'll get there. We've been having... God, we've been so into Supernatural lately. We kind of accidentally got rid of all of our old social media accounts and started over with Supernatural ones that were supposed to be side accounts and are now our main because I don't know how that happened. It just kind of did. But yeah, so we like reading fanfiction. And we like reading fanfiction. We want to get better at reading aloud overall. And we have a lot of really good fics that we adore and want to share with the world. So I don't know. I thought it would be kind of fun to hop in here and read some of them. I don't know if I'll get to it. I'm very nervous. I don't know if it's obvious. Just tell me it isn't for my feelings. Yeah, we our favorite character is Dean, but we have so many thoughts on most of the characters. There's kind of like a, I don't want to say stereotype, but like an expectation. A lot of Dean fans suck. Maybe that's mean. I'm sorry if that's mean. But some of them do. I do suck, just not because of that. I have other reasons that I suck. It's not because I like Dean Winchester. Also, I like him because he sucks. He's terrible. This guy's awful. He definitely needs to work on himself for 3 centuries. So yeah, there's some big Supernatural opinions. And all of the fics that I have collected are Dustiel. I am a cliche. I'll say that right now. I followed the crowd on this one. I hold a lot of the popular likes about Supernatural. It's a terrible show. Worst show ever. I love it. It could have been so good. It could not have been as good as it was if it wasn't bad. I'm pretty sure I'm quoting someone with that. I think there was a Tumblr post that said that. But I have many strong feelings about this show. We have Tumblr. I'm pretty sure I linked it. But on our Tumblr, for a while, we were gonna use it to post in-depth thoughts on it. We didn't ever get to that just because we never wrote them down. We did a few, I think. But we're very prone to being long-winded, especially when it comes to Supernatural. I'm trying to think of more Supernatural opinions that we'd want to know about someone. I personally believe that seasons 1 through 5 are good plot-wise. I think that is solid. That is the plot of Supernatural. When I say you should, typically, when I tell someone you should watch Supernatural because it's a good show, I mean seasons 1 through 5. After that, it's still good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just not so much there for the plot, I'm there for whatever. I want to see how far they can keep this going. I want to see what the boys get up to, more so than I'm invested in the plot and what's going to happen. What happens next is they're going to find a new apocalypse. And it's going to be God's cousin. Or something. So, but I still like the rest of the seasons. I think it's 6 through 15. There's too many seasons. I will say that. There are too many seasons. For them to have not done things with as many of the plot points that they had that were so cool, and to have 15 seasons. I do have strong opinions on some things. I did draw my PNG tuber myself. That's a concern these days. This is my own art. I did it myself literally earlier today. I have other PNG tubers that I've also drawn myself. Every PNG tuber that I have currently designed through 2 different programs I've drawn myself, except for 2, one of which is poorly cropped pictures of my cat from real life, and the other one is poorly cropped pictures of Dean Winchester from real life. Other than that, I've drawn all of them myself. My current profile picture, and anyone I do after this, is most likely my own art. Unless I don't do that, but I'll say something. Or if it's like a real picture, you'll know if it's a real picture. Most of the time it's pretty clear when it's a real picture. I have gloves on my avatar guy because I have Raymond's syndrome. This is news to me. No, it's not. It's been a few months. But this was news to me until a few months ago. It's also why I have socks on. That and I couldn't be asked to draw any more of this body. This took so long. It's not even complicated. I didn't move the arms at all. I was gonna do that. I was gonna have the arms like drop when I wasn't talking. No. That's more effort than I'm willing to put into this. That's not true. I might do it someday. But for now, this is what I'm working with. Especially considering this is the second PNG tuber I've designed for this stream. So, we're working... This is good. I like this one, personally. We got an antidepressants recently, and we're slowly starting to realize maybe I do have a sense of identity. Because we can, like, conceptualize ourselves enough to draw this. You also see in the little corner of the tent, that's our cat. Poorly cropped image of our cat. I love her. She's beastie. You'll probably hear her at some point. She likes to scream. She really likes to scream. She wants you to know she's there. And she's loud. She's a loud baby. Yeah, I should pull up. Let's talk about the fanfiction. I said I was going to do fanfiction. So, I have a collection on AO3. I don't know if I probably won't read all of these. I have a fair few. And I also have a life outside of streaming. All of them are Destiel, just because that's what I've read a lot of. Some of them are fairly long. We will likely not finish those. Maybe we will. I'll have some faith in myself. Maybe we will. Some of them are ongoing, some of them are not. I need to find a way to figure out if there's any of these that I should not read aloud because of, like, author permission. That's a work in progress. All of them are safe for Twitch, though. I'm not even, like, edging towards that. We're staying within safe for Twitch realm. Because we're on Twitch. You know. A bunch of these are post-finale fix-its, or time travel. Because I like time travel, and I like post-finale fix-its. I really like watching Dean Winchester make everything worse, in an attempt to make everything better. It's just fun. Gabriel pops up in a fair few. I kind of want to find more with Gabriel, honestly. I might try and go find ones that I haven't read to read on stream, also. Just for fun. I don't know. I also need to figure out how if I'm gonna post the links, if I can put them in the stream. I don't know how this works. Is that obvious? I feel like it is obvious. I also said I have one viewer, and I'm pretty sure that's me. If it's not, hello. I'm grateful to you. I know that you're not supposed to have viewers on, but I mostly have it on to make sure it doesn't, like, cut out in the middle of the video. Are there any other ones that I have that don't fall into those? I have a lot of angst. I have a few ones that are Castiel, Dean, or Sam is not having a great time. Some are horror. I'll say trigger warnings and stuff before I start reading. Safety first, in all situations. I'm just like scrolling through them, sorry. I'm really good at reading and talking at the same time, as you can see. This is part of why I wanted to work on like my reading aloud skills. They're alright. I have trouble keeping my breath. I might be asthmatic. Oh, Enver's Cass is in a bunch of them. I love Enver's Cass. I think he's great. I really like when people make him, like, internally in his thought process a lot more like regular timeline Cass. But then, like, the external way he acts kind of goes against that. I think that's really good. I think it's really cool. I would love to analyze Enver's Cass. Probably my favorite. I've talked too much about this fanfiction. It updates on Sundays. It is 8 years in the making. I'm in a Discord server for it. It's called The Road So Far This Time Around. It is 156 chapters. We just started, I think, season 3. It's gonna take a hot minute. This fic is ongoing. It's by 8 Years of Silence. That's a capital Y, capital S, and like the lower dashes between them. I love their art. I said art, I meant their writing. I've done art for this fanfiction, actually. I posted it on my Tumblr. The author saw it and like reposted it and said that they liked my analysis of it. I didn't even draw Sam or Dean. I drew like the side. I drew spoilers. I drew Castiel. And he's not quite recognizable. And I drew one of their original characters in a fic. It's really good. I was actually very proud of that. And I did it with tarot cards. So the tarot cards all had like meanings to what their storylines were and stuff. Yeah, I think that I'm going to wait on that one and see if I can find out if the author is alright with me reading it out loud. Honestly, because that's just the author that I have the best chance of getting access to. I don't know any of these people. I do not reach out to people. Just in general, it scares me. I've been told I'm a very anxious person. I don't think I am. I think that I avoid all situations that make me anxious, and therefore, I'm not anxious. This is flawless logic. Yeah, so The Road So Far This Time Around. Amazing fic. I do want to try and read it aloud. I used it specifically to get some friends of mine into the show itself, semi-successfully. It's really good. We also have one where Sam and Dean as children appear in the bunker. That's a good one. Dean Winchester needs to work on his issues. Like a lot. In that one especially. We get to see him dote on baby Sam. We get to see him not dote on him, like baby him. Sam dotes on baby him though. It's really good. I think it's really interesting. The author's not afraid to make Sam like a not good kid. Because he's like 4. If that. He doesn't know what's going on. His like learning for what you can and can't do so far has been Dean, who's going to let him do whatever it takes to like not bother their dad. So I thought that was very good. I thought it was a very good and interesting way to do it. So many of these are just post-finale fix-its, with Dean having the worst time. I want to read Jack Fix. I tried to roleplay this with a friend of mine. It kind of fell off, we both got busy. But, I want to find or read a fic where Jack and Claire time travel back to, like, fix things. And Jack's powers are all, like, loosey-goosey. They're not quite doing what he wants them to do all the time because he's God. And they're, like, the goal is to fix things. They didn't actually discuss what that meant before hopping back in time. So we'll figure that out. They'll figure that out when they get there. Me personally, I've roleplayed Claire, so I have like my own interpretations of how she works and would handle things and do things. Like specifically, and this one might be, I don't know, this might be controversial or me projecting. But I don't think, I go back and forth on if I think Claire would save her dad. Because I think Claire's dad died when she was like 10. And that's not super young. It's not young to a point where she's not going to remember him. But I wonder if she gets to a point where, like, if she's going back in time post-finale, the idea of him being alive is wrong at this point because it's been so long. It's so incomprehensible. That's not how it works. That's not his body anymore. It's been so heavily associated with Castiel that it just feels wrong. And so I think she just wouldn't think about it until, like, they're in the moment. And Jack's like, oh yeah, we should save your dad. And she's like, oh, fuck. I have a father again. I'm not saying don't get Castiel a different vessel. Feel free to. That'd be so cool. I just think that she'd, like, avoid it, you know? She wouldn't even, it wouldn't cross her mind as a thing to fix. Or it would. Depends, I guess. It probably would if she sat down and thought about things she wanted fixed. Because I think that's first and foremost, in the same way that Dean's first wish is that his mom didn't die. But they don't make active effort to correct it. You know? I don't know if you know. I just think there should be more of Jack and Claire. I think that I would love to see more of, like, the next generation of kids. I think Ben is Dean Winchester's biological son, and I think he should join hunting because he gets a DNA test. I think that'd be really good. What are the other guys? There's, like, a list of kids that would be, like, roughly the same age. We have Claire, Jack. Jack, okay. I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit. Because there's, like, two ways that... There's, like, three ways that I see people present Jack when they, like... Everyone's interpretations of characters is inherently different because it's their own. And I do not mean any disrespect to anyone's interpretation. All of these are great. I just noticed that there's, like, 3 distinct categories of ways people interpret Jack, which is one, that is a 3-year-old. That's a 3-year-old cracking under the pressure. Which is fine. I see evidence for that. I see evidence against it. Love it. Let that man be a 3-year-old. Boy, let that 3-year-old be 3-year-old. Also, Jack, I don't think, has gender. That doesn't mean that he doesn't, like, God. I just don't think it clicks. 0 thoughts on it ever. He goes by he, him because that's what people call him. Has 0 follow-up questions. Not relevant. The second way is, like, teenager. Like, a middle ground of, like, he's past being a child for sure. Cognitively, physically, he's past being a child. But they kind of put him, like, emotionally, maturity, and, like, all of that at, like, a teenager. Where he's, like, kind of explosive. Not explosive. That's not a good way to say it. But you know what I mean? Everything sucks when you're a teenager. And he is the end of the world going on. And third is, like, transition age is what I'm going to call it, which is, like, 20s, early 20s. You know, the age where you're, like, you're getting ready to move out of your parents' house, you're getting ready to move on and find your own place in the world. That's, like, the third one. I love all 3 equally. I think Claire fits best in that last one with being friends with him. And so when I talk about him and Claire, I mean in that one. That, like, time concept. He mentally matured. He meant in all ways except life experience. He feels he's 20-ish. Around there. So, but, like, Jack, Claire. Also, sorry, I keep getting distracted. A bunch of people have done it so that instead of Jack giving up his powers of being God or becoming God and, like, leaving, he just doesn't use them. He still has the powers. He's just not using them. It's really funny. to imagine God being a 20-something-year-old and just struggling to lift up, like, small box. That has its own moral implications, though. Because then comes the thing of, like, if you have the power to do something and you don't do something, but then, like, at what point does that fall short and you're intervening too much? Because we've seen the negative effects of divine intervention with Chuck. And so I don't necessarily know if I think Jack should have become God at all, but I do think that makes sense as something he would do. 100% I can see him just going, oh, good, a way to sacrifice myself. The Winchester way. I'm including Castiel in the Winchesters. In this little section, pointing at him. Stop doing that, motherfucker. We have a Dean Winchester interject. He's our host. Also the current one fronting. Don't worry about that too much. All opinions we share are collective. Any of them that I get particularly up in arms about, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Not a problem. But, so. We have that going on. That's all very fun. What are the other kids? Jesse. You remember the Antichrist? And then they just redid that storyline with Jack later on down the line. What's up with that? Let's bring him back. I think it would be funny. I was seeing a lot of people shipping Jesse and James, and Ben. Jesse and James. Jesus. Jesse and Ben. I have no strong opinions on that. Mostly because they're blank slate characters to me. I know nothing about these people. You can make up whatever you want. This is basically OCs. But yeah, I would love to see them come back. Obviously, we have Claire's whole clique of, I think, Kaya and Patience. I feel like there's Alex. She's one of them. I think that whole, like, group. I just think that we had a lot of younger hunters pop up throughout Supernatural. All around the same age. I would have liked to have seen them interact. I think it would have been a lot of fun. I'm trying to remember the list I just said. So you have Jack in this version where he's 20-ish. Claire always comes up as a younger hunter, I feel. Fairly consistently. We also have, like, the generation down from it, too, to think of. But so, for the next generation, below Sam and Dean, we have Jack, Claire, Jesse the Antichrist, who left for Australia and was never acknowledged again. We have Ben, who I firmly believe is Dean Winchester's biological son. I believe it. I think so. We have... If there's a way to, like, bring Emma back... Emma was Dean's kid. And, like... What happened with... Like, I know what happened with that. I do know what happened with that. But also... I'd like to know more about that one. We've gone to Purgatory, like, 4 times. We have a blank slate to bring whoever back. Because there's got to be a period. You have the finale, then you have the chunk of time where Jack is fixing everything. He can bring whoever back. And it's just like, after this, you're screwed. He could bring Emma back. I don't think Dean would think to ask to bring Emma back, though. I don't think Jack knows about Emma. Yeah, there's those... But if we bring Emma back, I don't know. She could be interesting. I don't know much about Amazonians. I don't remember what they're called. I don't know much about them. But it could definitely be interesting. I think. People have done this before, loosely. It's just not very popular. It's been done a few times. I've looked into this. I would like to have seen more of them. We also have, canonically, 2 generations down, Sam, Dean, and Castiel. You know, Garth and Sam's kids. I really want them to be like parallels, like aggressive parallels. I just think it would be funny. Someone did write that. They wrote a fic of Dean in heaven. And then eventually that Castiel and that Dean end up there for the same fucking thing of Dean made a deal to save Castiel, told him he loved him, and then died. It's really good. I just think it would be funny if they were like aggressive parallels. Generational curse, but it's just situationships, I guess. I don't know. We don't have a personality for Dean, Sam, or Castiel, because Castiel and Sam were babies. I don't think we saw them after that ever. They're just babies. They gotta look like Garth, though, right? Like all gaunt. I need to find like a concept for that third generation now. I think it would be fun. But yeah, there's so many new generations of hunters. I'd like to see more of them. I think someone should make a Dispatch X fan game where you work at the bunker and you're dispatching out hunters to cases. I don't have the skills to do that, but I think it would be very cool. Trying to think of what other things I have to say. I have a lot of things to say. I do. I just don't know all of what to say. I was gonna read fanfiction. This is slowly turned into what fanfiction I'd like to read or see out there in the world. Destiel is so important to both the world as a whole and to the fandom itself. But I would love variety. And you can find it sometimes. It's just difficult. And then it's double difficult to get, like, out of that sphere completely, you know? It's hard to find, like, fics or stuff that don't revolve in some way around the three main characters. Which makes sense. They're the main characters of the show, I get that. I want to see more of, like, everyone else, though. I want to know who all does Jack bring back. I don't think it's canon that Jack brings anyone back, actually. I don't think that's canon. I think that's just something that, like, a majority of people decide on. But, like, who else would Jack bring back? Let's say he does. Let's just decide that. Post-finale, everything happened, and Jack is bringing people back. Just, like, because there's so many characters. Every woman ever died. There's so many for him to bring back. And all of them could be so interesting. I have not read it, I need to. Someone did a fic where he brought Jess back. Like early Jess, you know, Sam's girlfriend that died. And he spent like 15 years mourning her. Healthily, actually. Not like healthily, but better than anyone else in that family was mourning. That would be so weird. On either end. First up, she's like 20-something. He's like 40. They haven't seen each other in 20 years. She hasn't changed. He's changed to, like, Kingdom Come. I would love to read that awkwardness of, oh, what? What do I do? Like I mentioned earlier, Emma, Dean's daughter, the Amazon one, that's just gone, I guess. Benny. I think Benny should be brought back. I don't know how Jack knows about Benny. I'm not worried about it. I liked Benny. I thought it was sweet. I thought he was good. Either platonically or romantically with Dean. I thought it was good either way. Who else died? I don't think John Winchester should be brought back. I also don't think Jack would. Mostly because I don't think Castiel would. And I don't... Like, you know, he'd side with Cass on this one. I also don't think Dean or Sam would ask for it. So it'd be just like an unspoken agreement of, he's fine. He's enjoying heaven. That's the compromise is he goes to heaven. But I read a fic actually the other day. John Winchester being homophobic is a very popular headcanon. I like it. It's just also kind of funny when he's not. Because I read one fic where he, like, asked if he was going to have to walk Dean down the aisle for his wedding with Cass. And Dean, like, bristled up, got his hackles all raised immediately. It was a genuine question. John just wanted to be there for one of his kids' weddings, and he figured this was his only chance. I think John wants to be a good dad. That's another one that might be controversial. I don't think he was. Let it be clear, John Winchester was abusive. This is not me denying that. But I think he wanted to be a good dad. And I think he's mentioned outright that he wanted, once Azazel was dead, he wanted to get his boys out of hunting. And, like, to a normal life. So I think, honestly, that he would try and be better in, like, in heaven. And I think that it would be, like, worse. I think it would be worse. Because that's a thing. When your parent gets better after abusing you. What do you do with that? I am so angry with you and you have corrected it and I am still angry. What do I do with that? You know? I think that'd be a very good fic. I also kind of like to believe that, like, there's different interpretations of characters automatically. Just by being a person with thoughts, you are automatically a new interpretation of this character. But also, people have different interpretations in their own interpretations. I do like, abusive, obsessed, homophobic John Winchester. I don't like it. That sounds bad. But, like, I mess with it. It's good to read. It's fun. Story-wise. But I also like the idea, and lean into it sometimes, of, like, he genuinely wanted to do better. Like, that guilt, he knows, to some extent, he's doing wrong by his kids. But he is going through with it solely because he is able to hold on to the idea of just, well, but we need this. We need to do this. It can go back to normal once this is done. Once this is taken care of, then everything will be fixed. And I think that's really good. I think that's really good. When that's his driving force. But then it is done. Azazel's dead. Maybe they're in heaven, maybe he gets brought back. And his boys are still so damaged. Because of him. I don't know, I think it's fun. A friend of mine put me on the idea that, like, the things that John Winchester did in canon that are considered homophobic were him just really messing up being supportive. Like, really screwing it. I'm not 100% sure where it's canon. It comes up often enough that I'm not sure if this is, like, fandom canon or actual canon. But supposedly, John sent Dean on a case where he ended up burning 2 lesbian nuns' bodies because they were ghosts. And that was taken as, like, a warning, because he, I guess, it was taken as a warning. A friend of mine put me on the idea that maybe he was, like, trying to be like, it's important for you to know the history and danger that you're going to be in being this. And, like, but things have improved. Probably not what it was. And I don't doubt that's inaccurate. Really funny to me, though. Especially because imagine that conversation. Dean dies. He goes to heaven. Somehow that comes up. And John says, like, what do you mean? No, I was just trying to make sure you knew your history. Motherfucker. I spent 40 years in the closet because of you. My window's open. It's very cold. That's fine, I'll get it in a second. there's a lot of different ways to interpret all of the characters, because it's all based on traits, right? What traits you latch onto, what traits you play up or play down, da 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 da. Like, say you're playing early season Sam. You're role playing now. Bam. You're role playing early season Sam. You're probably gonna latch a lot more onto his anger than you would playing later season Sam. That's fundamentally a different interpretation than later season Sam. Just in itself. It's so cool to me. Like, all the different interpretations. I should have put a little TV in the tent. I should have put it like a projector. I might do that. What if we change this to like a projector and it's just supernatural? Blank projector. PNG. Oh, my head is like pulsing. So early season promo pictures are beautiful. They actually are very genuinely helpful. I've used them a lot when trying to draw Dean as like body references. They're not like, I still can't draw Dean, but that's not because of his body, it's because of his hair. Which sucks. This is more to do with than just me hating his hair because it's hard to draw. Trust. Don't worry about it. I don't have like a particular opinion on which season I put on this. Just put like a picture of all the boys. I do, there's also a ton of like Stanford era fics. Time travel or otherwise. I like those. I like Angry Sam a lot. I think he deserves it. I think he's earned it. I think he needs it. Let that boy be angry. That's okay, yeah, we can. Is there one with, we're gonna do the 3 boys. And I know, I'm gonna put this image, I know it's a blooper. Shh. Don't worry about it. Okay. Welcome to I can never decide what I'm doing with like my setup. This is not going to be the only time that I change my stream setup, I'm sure. This isn't even like finished. I just wanted something so I could like do it. Looks a little goofy. Ooh, beastie. Okay, and then this is really silly. If I was doing like a video essay, I have debated doing like a video essay. Oh, okay, boys are big. I've debated doing like a video essay before on Supernatural. I have a slideshow in progress. I just don't know if I'll be able to like finish it. I don't know how to make a video essay in general. I don't know how to edit one. But there's a lot of reasons I haven't done that. Mostly they're just, I don't know how to do that. Can I fade it out so it looks like a projected image? looks like a projector in a bright room. Now they're inverted. Now I can't see them. Now I can't see them. Wow, that did nothing. So did that. Oh, transform. Nope. Set color. Properties? No. Filters. I did that already, didn't I? Oh, image mask / blend. I don't know if that did anything. Okay. I don't think it did. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, well, that's okay. It doesn't have to be like super fancy and look like an actual projector image. It's mostly just for fun. Kind of matches the vibe of looking like I'm talking too much about Supernatural the show. What else do I want to see? I'm like kind of stuck on the kids. I want to see more of them. I think they all had very interesting concepts. I also think that it's really cool because we see with this new generation as hunting as a, like, as it becomes more accepting to alternate things due to, like, you really couldn't be picky about using witchcraft when, well, when the world was ending. When Lucifer was trying to wear you like a suit. So it's one of those things of, like, I'm losing my trains of thought, like, really easily. So, I guess it becomes more like Kaya's a dreamwalker. That wouldn't have gone over well. Like, honestly, not even like a few seasons ago. It didn't go over well in the season it was revealed in, honestly. But doubly so with like early season Dean. Let's say she walks into one of his dreams. That's not gonna go well. That's gonna go very poorly. She didn't walk into one of his dreams. That's just the example that came to mind. That's another thing. Give me Witch Sam. Holds my hands out. There was, especially at the end, they started to lead into it, but like, dude, he had such an affinity for magic. And it's so helpful. Let the boy do magic. Let him become an apprentice. I really wish they'd done more with that in early seasons. It's just one of those things of like, they got so stuck in like, not like the supernatural being bad that they don't use a lot of the supernatural assistances that they could have. Unless you're Sam and Dean's dying in a hospital bed. Then you'll use whatever you can find. Or you're Dean and Sam's in a hospital bed. Or you're John Winchester. Unless one of them are dying, they don't go for supernatural protection. Which I get it. A lot of it comes at a cost. A lot of it can have negative consequences. A lot of it can like overtake you. Yada yada yada. But I feel like there still should have been a little bit of like, we can't use this because of the risk, rather than just never acknowledging it. Right? I guess they used the like tattoos. Like they had like hex bags. Not hex bags. They had bags that would like hide them. They also had some stuff from Hoodoo. I feel like that's the only things they ever used. That's not great. It's not fantastic. But it's just, the show is so bad in so many ways. It's not even a plot hole, honestly, because it makes sense that John Winchester wouldn't allow it because he got stuck in his ways, which means that Dean wouldn't allow it because he's stuck in John's ways, which means Sam wouldn't do it because Sam is stuck in Dean's ways. God, they're like a circle, like an Ouroboros. I don't think I pronounced that right. It's a snake that eats itself. It just goes around and around and around. Also, like, later on, as we get further in, Sam just, like, stops having much of anything going on. Right? Like, he just kind of loses his character stuff. And I think that sucks. I think that is stupid. I don't like that. I think, cause I've heard that part of it was because there was so much pranking on set that they couldn't have Jared Padalecki on as much. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I believe that's true. There's a lot of things you'll hear in the Supernatural fandom. I just want to put out there that that's something that's said a lot. I have no basis for that. But like, he was so good in early seasons because he was angry. He was angry at the world. He was angry at John. He was angry at Dean. He was angry at the demon, Azazel. He had every reason to have to be angry. And we watch him still be, like, kind despite that. Huh? So I got, like, a thing. Oh, no. It's like a bot trying to sell me followers. Or chat. I didn't look at it too closely. But, so, like, he was good in early season because he was so angry. He was just, he had that spitfire, you know? He was shoving back against things. He was fighting, he was being aggressively a little brother. And then, like, slowly that kind of just dies out. I can't think of many times in later seasons where we see Sam get angry. He just gets tired, I feel. Which makes sense. He was in the cage with Lucifer for years. After that, he lost his soul. And then he had hallucinations and was afflicted. And then just things never stopped happening to make him tired. So, like, I get it. I can make sense of it. I can look at this and say, this is a character, like, development makes sense that this is what would happen to Sam Winchester. But I wish he'd kept some of that fire still. Like, I think it would have been good. It also makes sense because we see him dissociate constantly. Not constantly, but we see at least 2 times that I can remember where he dissociates for a minimum a year. Because there's that year when Sam is in purgatory, and you can't tell me, I don't really mind him not looking for Dean. Right? People say that's out of character. Look at that sequence. That's so dreamlike and bright and just a little too perfect. Tell me that's not just dissociation all the way. He's not there. I've seen someone else break it down. It's like, he's there for the dog. He hit the dog and the dog led to the rest of that. Otherwise, he would have just drifted aimlessly. He's still drifting aimlessly. He just managed to bump into someone who he can play being a person for properly. Food for thought. Anyways, did not read any fanfiction, but my throat's starting to hurt. Got a lot of talking. I come back to this later. I don't know. If I do, I will actually read a fanfiction. I'll put a title for everything and everything. love you guys. I don't know how to end things. Bye. Thank you for listening to my ramble. I don't have an end stream